Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Lisa Loring, and I'm here to do the tarot reading for Saturday, January 14th, halfway through the month of January, pretty much. Crazy, right? Um, and I should probably start to say as like the caveat that no matter when you watch this video, you're watching it when you need to. Share it with people who you feel like you need to hear it, and the messages that come through for us. Some of the messages that I usually do a recap of what I did yesterday. The recap was an Ace of Wands that was in the reverse, and at the end of as one of the three cards that came out, and this is all, and I put in the write up. It was all about 100% perception about, this is and this was a point in case when the cards were down here. I kept seeing it towards me as being an upright, but then I could see that this was actually, the divine giving us all of these opportunities, all of these passions. And there were two aces that came out, and the other one was the Ace of Pentacles. Both of these are beginning of their particular suits. This is value, things that we value. It's health. It's money. It's, financial health. It's physical health. It's, things that we value and create on the physical plane, things that are in the material, things that materialize. And this is the divine, this is the wands, or the passion that drives it. It's the heart that behind it, it is that drive. It is that spark. There's the fire, right? It's the suit of fire, and this is the suit of earth. So these are the things that are happening on the earthly plane. And I was describing how I knew that Mercury is the planet of our thoughts, our attitudes, our mental perceptions, and thoughts can be all of our ego too. You know what I mean? But Mars is also actually our ego. So Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. And that's also the house of and it's also communication. Mercury is also communication, how we communicate. And Mars is that motivation. It's that drive. It's the fire. Mercury is an air sign, air planet. Gemini is an air planet. Mercury is in an earth sign. It's in Capricorn right now. Earth sign. Mars, the drive, is in that air sign. So they're in like a little bit of a reciprocity. Even though Mars isn't in a fire sign, it's in an air sign. Air can certainly be fueled by fire, right? So he just went direct. And so there's a little bit of a slowdown. And today, there might have been a little bit of your thoughts kind of running away from you, kind of tricking you into like old patterns and stuff like that, which I think is how, a little more why this Five of Pentacles came up, because things on the earthly plane, like things could have been seeming very real, the way these thoughts were like kind of coming up and tricking us back into like old patterning, the old patterns of lack. And that's why I brought up perception. I know, kind of felt through it as I do through the day. And that's why I talk about these a little bit at the beginning of the next reading, just because I too sit and meditate further on it beyond like the half hour or so that I discuss them with you when I pull them. But this card here, the Five of Pentacles, is that sense of reality that, things aren't exactly how I want them. And this is how things used to be. And I think it's just going to happen again. And, we've grown so much that this really is just a trick of the mind. And you can see in this card, there's not just this lack, and especially in the Gilded Tarot, which I'm referencing here, this is such a beautifully ornate deck that, even in the pentacles that are here in the window, in this suit of pentacles in this particular deck, the pentacles are doubled because there's a pentacle within a pentacle. Can you see that? Yeah. And so they're kind of so like worried about what they don't have that they're not looking around at all the beauty and abundance that's on offer, which is, sometimes we get so amped about a project at the beginning of things. So we can go either two ways. We can be so amped about it, and then we burn out really quickly which Mars going direct yesterday would kind of, if we go too fast, and that was the encouragement to slow our roll. That came up for me as well, to share. And, and to be supported. But the one thing I think I didn't say clearly, I started talking about it at the beginning, but I want us to remember to, that this picture shows that these hands of the divine are bringing this inspiration, bringing this fire to us. They're supporting us in the endeavors that we are beginning. Aces are the beginning of their respective suits. There's lots of this is considered like the 1, and then there's the 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 10 in every single suit. So these are just beginnings. So you can either be kind of discouraged, and not want to start out because you're thinking you're going to just do all the same stuff that you've done before and self-sabotage. I know about that. I'm really good at that. That's what was coming up for me today. In truth, just all kinds of self-sabotaging kind of things, but I still got stuff done either way. And I feel pretty good about the things I instituted and the things I began. I caught myself in these places of, woe is me. We all do that. That's a real place. But that's when we look to the divine. We look for help. We go to prayer. That's always going, prayer, whatever resource that you can partner with that brings you into equilibrium, that brings you love, that brings you nourishment, that, a quiet space. It's partnering with yourself. It's bringing out your own, magic. And we are at our most magical. This magician came up, when we do take that step back, we take that breath, when we're getting overwhelmed, we can take that step back, and whatever it is for you, whatever is bigger than you that you can resource, because we're not, and that's what this card is about. We're not doing this alone. We have lots of support. All the elements are here. And even though it's just a beginning, we talked about this in a lot of readings about the beginner's mind. It's important, not that one. I don't know where our ace went. Where did he go? Oh, we went somewhere. Anyway. Oh, they're here. In the beginner's mind, it's important to remember you are just starting out. Take your time. Give yourself the opportunity to learn all the aspects of that new element that you're in. So we're going to let that go. Grateful to that Gilded Tarot deck by Tiro Marchetti and Barbara Moore. Thank you so much. I'm going to put those away. And tonight we're going to actually read from the Archangels. From the Archangels. And again, thank you so much for joining me. Haven't read from this deck in a while. This is a deck by Doreen Virtue, one of her original decks. Again, she does not, I use this even though she's said loud and clear that she didn't want people using her deck, but her work is wonderful. And I'm actually just going to sage that just because I know that she's a really powerful, lovely individual. But, like I said, she's requested that people not use her decks. I've got a lot of good vibes in my house, but I haven't used this deck in a while. So this is something I recommend that you do. So I just sage this deck to clear any energies that are untoward that have been collected. And I'm really grateful to have this deck. It's one of the first decks I ever had. Ooh, lots of saginess. I'm going to put that down. All right. So you can sage your decks. That's a really good way of cleansing and clearing them, and just saying a little quick thing like I said. It's always the intention that you bring that is the most important. So yeah, just important to do that. Especially if you haven't used it in a while, or, other people have been using your decks, or, anything like that. Doreen, like I said, I do respect that she has moved on with her work, but this is to me, this work is very creative and wonderful, and they're archangels, So yeah, I'm using 2 different cameras here. So once I put pull the cards in, I will awkwardly kind of turn it, and with the little stand that it's on. I need to get the other stand. I'll do it. but it'll help you see it. It helps me a lot if I can, I have to use the iPad to do the uploads to Instagram. So I got to do 2 cameras. So thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for being here. I hope the messages resonate with you. What resonates, stay, let it, meditate on it. What doesn't, let it go. It's for somebody else, because this is a collective reading for Saturday, January 14th. Whenever you read it, it may be, a couple of days earlier than the energies come in for you. Maybe something you're experiencing now. All right, so we have 1 card already, and it's the Emperor, Archangel Michael. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. This is definitely an energy that's coming in really strongly now. I think we're feeling it already, kind of chomping at the bit. This need to get organized, this need to get on top of our game, this need to be in self-leadership. Now I'm going to go ahead and angle the camera down so we can see the cards. And yeah, I'm going to do this little kind of awkward turning of the camera here in the stand so you can see the cards here. I think you can. Okay, good. All right. So Archangel Michael is here, and we can call in on Archangel Michael. The archangels are ecumenical. They're not of any particular denomination. Renew Archangel Jeremiel. He came up for me earlier today. Renewal. This baptism theme continues. This renewal of, we've talked about renewing our fire, that Ace of Wands that has shown up quite a bit lately. Again, that renewal, that Holy Spirit, and we have 3 cards here. All right, so we're going to leave it at that. Yeah, 9 of air. Expecting the word. Okay, we'll look at that bottom of the deck one too. All right, so we have the Emperor. We have Archangel Michael. You can call on Archangel Michael at any point. He's a protector. In this deck, he is representing the Emperor, which is sovereignty. He is the male counterpart to the Empress, who we've seen a few times in the past week. He's a creative individual as well, but he's more about creating structure. He's creating leadership. He is stepping into our own leadership, our own sovereignty. And a good leader also recognizes the sovereignty of others. Right? We are in leadership, and we co-create with others. We are in, we're always working and collaborating with people and everything around us. It's not just people, it's the world, our environment, our pets, our food, recognizing the royalty and the divinity of other people is what's coming up for me a lot here. And I've talked yesterday a lot about how when we are working on our own selves, we are benefiting all that is around us automatically when we are bringing out, working to, bring out, doing the things, this kind of self-care that is taking care of ourselves, being in responsibility for ourselves, being in that Emperor energy. When we do that, when we are responsible to ourselves in that way, it's not selfish. What's the intention behind it? Like I said, if it is, so you can bring out the best in yourself in a way that is of, it really is all aspects. It is coming from a place of love. You're benefiting yourself. You're, recovering parts of yourself that maybe were hidden and can now stand up. And also, you have to have all of your armies, right, to be a good leader in some ways of thinking. Well, when you bring in all parts of yourself, that is bringing in all of your armies, all of the parts of you, all of the parts of your own personal kingdom. And in this card, it's an empire. You create an empire, and you get along with all of the, your fellow emperors. But yeah, organization and logic, step back, be objective. Structure and discipline, leadership. A good leader also knows when they're wrong. can step back and look at themselves realistically and see where they need improvement. You know, they may be working at the top of their game, but there's always room for improvement. And we don't look at that as a way of judgment. This isn't the judgment card, it's the emperor card. We can do that self-reflection to ourselves. And when we do that, we are renewing, review and evaluate. That's here in the second card. A favorable assessment of the facts, time to move in a new direction. So when we do take these honest looks at ourselves, we take that moment of renewal, refreshing look at ourselves, a look at it, from a different perspective. We are at that point in a place of, honesty, of renewal, of, we're able to do that. We can refresh our own energy at any moment. When we do that, about that self-evaluation, maybe ask a trusted friend, I've noticed this thing about myself lately. I feel, something, I'm missing something. Maybe somebody around you, I see these people, looking to him for advice. There's like, I see that there's something going on. Can you give us more here? Again, a trusted friend, somebody who loves, with whom you do have that loving relationship, that Two of Cups kind of relationship. And again, the Ace of Fire. So in the Ace of Fire in this deck, sorry, that's a little glarish, is the Ace of Wands. It comes up for us again, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. Change is here. We don't have to do it all at once, though. Good change always helps with, constantly evaluating, taking a realistic evaluation of where you are now in the situation, what you are bringing to the table, how you feel. Like, are you nervous? I just started a new project in my master's program and I'm the lead on it. I was hesitant to take that, but when we sat there, I could see that was a role that I probably could fill. I was really nervous because in the past, I haven't co-collaborated very well. I haven't delegated very well. There was that lack. There's that, I'm going to do the same old things again and I'm going to get tired and I'm not going to do well. I can either go down that road or I can take an honest reflective look and say, you know what, I'm being given an opportunity here and I think I can do this. And I have other people around me on whom I can rely. My trust is there. I can still be a leader by working as a team, by evaluating and by being realistic about the situation. I'm being offered an opportunity and I'm excited, to admit that I'm excited about it. Because sometimes we get that, we're like excited. We're like, oh no, I couldn't. But you can. And so, the Four of Water is here. This is the Four of Cups in the traditional tarot. And this one is missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So I could have easily passed that by. This is that card of isolation. That theme of isolation keeps coming up. This is someone who isolates themselves. Oh, I'm bored. They're so, that Five of Pentacles. So this is kind of like that Five of Pentacles thing. So fixated on this one thing that they miss the three possibilities that are there. And I see this three. And for me, I see that as the Holy Trinity, God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Or, Father, for me, it's, Father, Blessed Virgin Mary, and the Holy Spirit. There's all kinds of support around us if we could just, see it. And when we do, we get the Seven of Earth, which is the Seven of Pentacles. Seeds well planted. A temporary pause in action. And again, unnecessary worry. We're only worried when we're in this kind of isolated, I've got to do it all. I'm not going to be any good at it. This is really super disassociated kind of thing going on. Come back to that reevaluation. Speak to that higher power, whatever that is for you. I've told you, whoever, Archangel Jeremiel came up for me earlier today in a separate meditation. and he's here to support us. So if the archangels do resonate with you, then by all means. He's also the archangel of like past lives. So, past lives could again be something, just a way you used to live your life with different people, or it could have been 2 years ago, or it could have been your childhood. Go back to those places where you can look at them with a, realistic eye, without judgment, without emotional blame, and, trying to take that more objective step back. Wash yourself clean of these kinds of, those, remember the hanged man showed up a couple of days ago without all of those entanglements and entwinements. The seas are not so calm in this. There's some emotional waters that you might have to go through, but try to go through it with, again, an objective eye that we have support. Look at this. This isn't this reminds me of old Mother Willow and Pocahontas. Kind of, right? We are planting our seeds. They're seeds well planted. So we've graduated from that Ace of Pentacles all the way up to the 7 at this point. And 7 is also a number of the divine support. Cause it's like unnecessary worry when we're working with the divine, with our own inner divinity. Even if it's a temporary pause in action, it's a time of learning. This is the season of Capricorn. We are in winter. This is a temporary pause. We don't have all of the external, like if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's winter here. It's winter. So I'm going to leave it at that. But guess what I got in the mail? I did get the Rumi deck today. And I'm going to pull a crystal card for us as well out of the new crystal deck. So we'll do a crystal card. Oh, and I also brought my little book over, which I love and rely on, which is I do essential oils all day long to pair up with my crystals. So we'll see what we have here. And I have some recommendations for crystals that you can work with for Archangel Jeremiel and Archangel Michael as well. Do I have that paper with me? Oh, I do. It's underneath. That's all right. All right, let's see what we have. Yeah, be non-judgmental. Look at yourself realistically. Remember, you're a star. You are. And the more you want to be a star, here we are. Shiva Lingam. Shiva Lingam is also known as Banalingas. So here it is. A phallus-shaped stone found in the bed. So this is actually corroborating with the Ace of Fire, by the way, right? Kind of like wandish, right? Shaped stones found in the bed of the Narmada River in India. In Hinduism, they can represent an embodiment of the god Shiva, destroyer of illusion and a transformer. Destroyer of illusion. And again, back to yesterday's reading, perception. Yoga, who needs it? Yoga people who hate yoga. I love this deck, by the way. Where to put it? Wherever you seek enlightenment. On the meditation cushion, concentrating on your breath, possibly while chanting. Whenever you're just taking that breath, whenever you're looking for that renewal place, right? When to use it, when your ego has you feeling too small or totally supersized. Back to what I said at the beginning, right? I don't make this stuff up. We can either be like at the beginning of things and just go all for it straight out the gate and be out of breath before we even started, or we get overwhelmed by the fact that we're beginning and we're bored already and we don't think we can do it. And we're ignoring the resources that are around us. Or totally supersized, when it seems like you're sucking life force through a swizzle stick instead of a boba straw, when you've got baby making on your mind. Go all in on your essence. And I am going to read. Now, I know I saw this in my crystal book earlier, the Shiva Lingam. I can tell you, if you're more of an essential oil person than a rock person, a crystal person, this might give you some a little more for that. One day I'm going to read this book so much I'm going to have it memorized. 314. This is one of my favorite books. It's well worn. All right. So again, emotional healing unites and balances the male and female energies within to create a harmonious whole. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Good for resolving gender-related issues and for overcoming personal doubts about entering a same-sex relationship. Interesting. I don't know who needs to hear that one. But fragrant. So essential oils you can use are almond, apple, bluebell, orange, and rose. So there's that. I'm not going to go into. There's a lot more in this book. This is the Complete Crystal Handbook, by the way. It's still in print. I think you can get it on Amazon by Cassandra Eason. I'll reference it in the write-up. So look in that for that. I also want to take one here from the Rumi deck. Remember the little cards that we got when I started reading last week? The Rumi Jewels of Wisdom, Healing, and Guidance. Blue Gaia is who puts this out. So we're going to do one from here. Okay. So Shiva Lingam, let me turn that over so everybody can see that. Oh, those are the, here we are, one already. Oh, dear one, don't run away from the heat of the fire. Yes. What would happen if you risk it all and take a step into the flame? You don't make this stuff up. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and yeah, I'll check back in with you over the weekend. I probably won't do a reading for Sunday. I think I'm probably going to stick to that kind of schedule. Probably Wednesdays and Saturdays nights. I'll be taking some time off to do other things. But I love you, and I will talk to you soon. Welcome your feedback, your comments, your questions. Send it all. Talk soon.